Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Build of the Week is a weekly video series that showcases interesting character builds created by Path of Exile community members. Many of our highest tier supporters have had the opportunity to work with us to design a unique item that is added to Path of Exile. Today's Build of the Week is a very interesting case because the player who submitted it designed both the build and the unique item that it is created around. The item in question is Hegemony's Era, a unique judgment staff. Its 6% additional block chance raises the total to 18%, which makes it comparable to other good staves defensively. The bonus physical damage increases it to a high and narrow range of damage values, which is important because this isn't a caster staff. Its attack speed and critical strike chance are both relevant to critical strike melee builds like this one. The additional power charge and power charge on knockback play into the intentional combination of creating a build around high critical strike rate and knockbacks. This is a form of charge generation that just didn't exist before this item was designed. This build uses 3 attack skills, all of which have knockback built in. It doesn't use any knockback support gems. The primary area of effect skill is Sweep, supported by a slew of good melee support gems including Multi-Strike. Heavy Strike is used against single targets and has a similar set of gems supporting it. Leap Slam is used for movement. Leaping into combat also generates power charges due to its knockback. Immortal Call has been improved in several ways to have a very long duration. Passive skills and several support gems including Enhance have been used to raise its duration to over 20 seconds. Enhance increases the quality of both the Immortal Call gem and also the increased duration gem. A copy of Val Immortal Call is supported by the same gems and can be used at critical moments to avoid death. Enduring Cry is cast frequently to sustain near indefinite Immortal Calls. Spell Echo is used to bypass its cooldown and double the endurance charges generated. This combo provides immunity to physical damage for a time, which is very important against monsters with physical damage reflection. Other skills used include Hatred, Herald of Ash, Herald of Ice, and Enfeeble. Aside from Hegemony's Era, the player is using the Lightning Coil unique armor. Various different armors could have been used in this slot, but we suspect this one was used as a fallback plan against physical damage reflection. Other than these 2 unique items, the rest of the gear is composed of decent rare items, often with crafted mods. The belt is very defensive and has been luckily corrupted to grant an extra endurance charge. Given the value of the staff, it's interesting that the belt wasn't exalted a couple more times before its corruption. The first thing that we noticed about this build's passive skill layout is that no keystone passives were allocated at all. Due to not having to waste passives on traveling to keystones, the player has been able to invest in a who's who of powerful notable passives. 2 important notables are Master of the Arena, which grants melee range, and Amplify, which grants increased area of effect. A critical strike melee staff build like this one absolutely needs Serpent Stance. In order to boost the duration of Immortal Call to the levels it does, this build allocates Potency of Will and Exceptional Performance, which both increase skill effect duration. It also gets 2 additional endurance charges from the passive tree. Blunt Trauma is a very important passive for this build. It causes enemies to be knocked back when they are crit. The Hegemony's Era staff causes this to grant power charges, which further increases the crit and hence knockback rate. It's a cycle that fuels a large amount of damage. This build is very interesting because it doesn't have any keystone passives and doesn't rely on any particular unique items other than Hegemony's Era, which this player designed himself. Just to be clear, high tier supporters don't get given a copy of the item they design. They still have to find it or trade for it like any other player. In this case, it's fascinating to see the character that resulted when the same person had the opportunity to design an item and a build based around it. If you'd like to submit a build for next week's episode, just post a build guide in the class forums on pathofexile.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.